This video is brought to you by Manscaped. More about them later in the video. Oh, wait, I recognize that. What the fuck? That's a sick Miata. It's Craig! Jesus. I totally forgot about the bikes. I am so sorry. Oh my God. The bikes are okay. Greg's shade, not quite as okay, but yeah, it's all right. Today we are here with the Sleeper Volvo and this. You know, it's funny, this is one of my first times not being the guy with the Miata. It feels weird. It feels weird, to be honest. Many of you guys recognize this car. Many of you guys know its owner. Introducing the Miata dad, Greg Peters.
Caleb, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Welcome to my hometown, San Diego.
Yep. If you don't know who this man right here is the Miata legend on YouTube. He knows everything about every nut and bolt on these cars. And this right here is his legend.
What we have here, hopefully, is something that's gonna bring a little bit of competition for this very powerful Volvo. I'm nervous. I'm serious, I'm nervous. But it's a pretty basic build. What we got here is just a stock engine, you know?
Yeah.
Miata engine.
That is the cool thing about this thing.
Came out of a Miata, internally not very stock, just fully built bottom end, Maruha stroker crank, bringing it up to 1.9 liters, turbo, 12-to-1 high compression with 24 pounds of boost.
You're up to 12-to-1 now?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
So 12-to-1. 23 to 24 pounds of boost, 526 wheel horsepower, can only run on E85 obviously with those kind of numbers, and it moves pretty good. It's been a 10-year work in progress, I'd say.
Yeah, you've had this car for a long time. And so me and him didn't meet, but we started talking, you said 7 years ago.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago. It was right when I got Molly. I was still in high school. I was, hot gluing wires together, and this man taught me not to do that. Do you remember the Miata group chat that we used to be in?
Yes.
With you, me, Luca, Tyler Fialgo.
Yep.
OG memories. It's very cool. Yeah, man, I can't believe it. So it's 24 pounds of boost.
Yeah, so it made...
That's like pretty efficient, I feel like.
Yeah, peak power, it made 526 at 26 pounds.
Okay, so that's when you
on the previous setup, on 9-to-1 compression, it took 32 pounds to make the same exact power.
Yeah.
So that just kind of goes to show the efficiency. And this thing has just been just a dyno mule, basically. I just keep throwing more parts at it. What'll this do? What'll this do? And the setup is working well so far. How long it will last, I don't know, but that's kind of my thing, is just pushing things harder and harder until they break and figuring out how to make them not break next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Kids, that's why you go high compression turbo. I get those comments so often. I'm like, why'd you go high compression turbo? It's because it's way more efficient.
It's more efficient.
Especially when you have a 1.6.
Yeah, you need all the help you can get.
But yeah, Greg does a really good job at kind of breaking down the science of everything, really laying out how everything works. It's very interesting. So if you want to check that out, I'll have a link in his description down below, or link in my description to his channel down below. What else is there? Because obviously you can't make this power on a stock drivetrain.
Yeah, so the stock drivetrain, even the more stronger? 6-speed.
Yeah.
Still pretty much glass when it comes to this power level. This engine made about 450 pound-feet of torque to the wheels. So I have a BMW E46 5-speed transmission and a first-gen CTSV differential to kind of keep this thing together when I get into boost.
Well, we both have the same ring and pinion. Kind of.
Yeah.
That's the one thing our two cars share. For one, we're gonna do some roll racing between the two cars, see which one's faster. But also, I just want to ride in this thing. My Miata kind of scares me sometimes, so I can't imagine what this feels like. I'm very excited.
You're about to find out.
Yeah, I am. If I get chopped by a Miata, is that like, it's like the ultimate turn of events, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The universe just flipped over on itself. You know, it's not often I'm sitting on this side of a Miata. Is this from, you know, transporting your engines?
Exactly.
That's funny.
How did you know that?
Greg uses his Miata as a tow truck as well.
How much power does your Miata have? Molly?
388 wheel horsepower. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's 297.
297?
Yep.
And you said you rode in Taylor Ray's car, which is...
It was, I think he said
in
something in the fives, yeah.
Okay. That thing looks brutally fast.
It was really like loud and just like wow, wow. Like, it was just a lot of instant torque. So.
All right. Well, I'm interested to see what you think and to see.
That's neutral.
If you're gonna go 1.8 after this.
1.6s are better though. Why would I do that?
No comment.
No comment. So what exhaust is this at this point?
It's a full Kraken system. So
Okay.
Kraken manifold, downpipe, Catalyst 3-inch exhaust with the muffler that they supply.
So this is what everyone tells me I should get, at least manifold wise and stuff.
And then as far as the tuning setup right now, we are on the street tires. So it's set up on boost by gear. It makes a lot less power in the lower gears.
What's that?
So it has traction.
Yeah.
Third gear, it's about 450, and then fourth gear is full power.
I see.
So this is only second gear.
Jesus. Jesus.
And we got full traction.
Yeah, that's so cool. See, that's the type of stuff Greg does. He really dials the car in, makes it work as best as it can instead of just, you know, throwing a big turbo on a built motor. You're a big turbo hater.
Yes, I am. In my opinion, smallest turbo possible to hit your power goals. That way you just end up with the best power band, and you're not, you know, too many people run 300 horsepower with a 500 horsepower turbo. They're not reaping the benefits from the big end on that turbo, and then they're also suffering from the lag. So it's like, what is the point of that? So this turbo completely maxed out at 500, 525-ish.
The boost by gear is awesome because you can just feel it getting faster and faster.
Yeah, like second to third is the most dramatic difference. It like pulls, and then normally when you upshift in the car, you expect to lose power, but it just keeps pulling like the same amount.
Yeah, that was cool. That's still there? Oh, that's not still there.
Oh.
I mean, it's there, but it fell down.
It's just down. Do you want to?
Yeah, if we could pull over somewhere. I'll just take it off. All right. Well, first car to break that, so that's funny.
So since we're at a dead stop, I can demonstrate the boost by gear a little bit better.
Okay.
This is first gear, and I'm just going to go foot to the floor. Probably get a little spin, but see how it goes.
Fourth gear is so awesome. That's crazy.
We're getting dusty up in here.
Yeah, there's Mars. I mean, Mars has got a lot of sand on it.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
We could actually get a full-on dust storm at any moment here. On the drag radial setup, the power that you felt in fourth gear, it'll hold in second.
That's crazy.
So,
oh my gosh. So do you know how much it's making in second?
Second gear, I want to say like roughly 300-ish.
All right, I was gonna say like second gear kind of feels about how fast my car feels.
I forget the exact target
Yeah.
boost, but you could. Yeah, so 11 pounds in second gear, and then 19 in third,
Okay.
and then 24 in fourth.
That's crazy.
Definitely not as much of a sleeper as the Volvo is, but I'd say it's mildly unsuspecting.
Yeah, I mean, no one expects the Miata to be this fast, no matter how fast it looks, unless there's like a giant turbo sticking out the hood.
I feel like Miatas went through a phase where like people started to realize how fast stock block turbo Miatas were.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, they're not that fast at 200 horsepower, so still surprise someone now and again.
Yeah, that's awesome. How reliable has the setup been?
As far as the drivetrain?
No, in terms of the engine.
Oh, the motor? I mean, this engine only has now 3,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So I really can't say like, oh yeah, I've driven it across the country.
Sure.
Well, I mean, technically the amount of miles, but yeah, but it's too new to really say.
Sure.
The last engine I got about 20,000, 15 to 20,000 out of. But again, I was pushing it really hard, running a really aggressive timing map, experimenting with valve springs, and just doing a lot of stuff to that motor that I wouldn't do to it if I was trying to make it as reliable as possible.
Right, and yeah, you beat the crap out of that thing. And so what was different with that one, just the crank?
The biggest
Main
difference
caps?
from the previous engine were stock crank instead of the Maruha stroker, and then the 9-to-1 compression instead of 12-to-1.
Sure.
Those are the key differences. Both stock cam, both VVT engines, both same head, super mild porting, and that's about it.
Yeah. You're also a big cam hater, aren't you?
I mean, you felt it. The top end pulls pretty
Yeah,
decent.
you don't need any more top end. It's awesome. So
if I was to go to an even bigger turbo, it would need cams. But at this point right here, it's like right at the sweet spot. I'm maxing out the turbo, maxing out the stock cams. It's got a nice fat power band, and it just feels good.
What's next? Are you want more power? Is it always the never-ending quest?
I don't think so, because to take the next step and go with more power, I would have to upsize the turbo, which means I'm going to deal with more lag during the lower RPM stuff, and then on the top end, I'm going to deal with even more traction issues if I want to stay on a street tire setup, which this has always just been a street car, and I want to keep it as street car as possible. And I feel like any more power than this, even 500, kind of pushing it. Any more power than this, I'm going to be dealing with more compromises than it's going to be worth to get that extra power.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, this thing is really fast, really fun. So
glad you.
Now I need to make a 1.6 this fast. How much more money am I going to spend there?
I will trailer to Georgia and bring this car, and we'll put it to the test.
Okay, all right, let's do it. I mean, I'm gonna have to have like a big turbo and all sorts of stuff, but
you're gonna have all sorts of stuff. I'll help you though.
But wait! Before we give Greg a ride in the sleeper Volvo, I need to take a moment to thank this video's sponsor, Manscaped. Now, you've probably heard about their lawnmower, but did you know that they make products for face grooming as well? Right here, I have the Beard Hedger and their Handyman. Now, firstly, the Beard Hedger. I wish I could use it in its full potential, but unlucky for me, I got blessed with bad hair genes and bad beard genes, so I can't really grow either of those things. But I can still talk to you about it. There's a couple things that make the Beard Hedger so awesome. For one, it has a titanium-coated stainless steel blade, which will effortlessly glide through even the thickest beard, providing a clean, quick, and precise cut every single time. Now, tying into that, this thing has an adjustable cut length. It's got 20 different length settings from 0.5 millimeters all the way up to 10 millimeters. In addition to that, this thing's got a 60-minute runtime, a 3-level LED charge indicator, and it's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. And of course, this thing comes with everything you could ever need: a charger, the length setting comb, and a travel bag. Now, the Handyman. This thing I love, and this thing I can use. Now, what sets this thing apart is that it's got a dual blade. It's got a standard foil shaver as well as a long hair leveler blade, meaning that this thing will knock down even long stubble and leave you with an incredibly clean shave in like less than 60 seconds. The other awesome thing is that it's got skin-safe technology to help reduce nicks and cuts, and it is also waterproof. And I mean, just look at this thing. It's so compact and ergonomic, and this also has a 60-minute runtime, which makes this the perfect travel companion. So what are you guys waiting for? Upgrade your facial grooming routine today by visiting manscaped.com and use code Gingium to get 20% off your first purchase of the Beard Hedger and the Handyman. Huge thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. I'll also have links in the description and up there in the card. But anyway, what does Greg think about the sleeper Volvo? Is it your first turbo LS car you've ridden in?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a kind of a weird turbo LS car in some ways. I guess in other ways it's kind of perfectly fitting for a turbo LS.
And you never drove this naturally aspirated, right? With the even with the LS6?
Correct. Yeah, never drove it naturally aspirated.
Oh my God. I think I'm gonna need me an LS after this.
It's a cheat code. It really is.
my God. Oh, it just keeps pulling.
And it's like very long gearing.
That was third?
That was third, yeah. That probably was up to like 5,500 RPMs. The red line's at 65.
Dang. And you said stock bottom?
Stock bottom end, yeah. And I'm not even like, I mean, I'm pushing it, but people have made, 1,000 wheel horsepower in stock bottom ends relatively reliably. This turbo actually, there's something wrong with the setup, whether it's the turbo kit or the turbo itself. Something is restricting it in the top end. So like, it makes peak power at 5,500 RPM, and it drops like 100 horsepower in the last 1,000 RPM.
Really?
So it's kind of got small turbo syndrome or restriction system.
You talked to Matt Man ever?
I did, yeah. He thought it was the intercooler. I did a pressure test, like see if it was dropping boost, and it wasn't through the turbo or through the intercooler. So.
Oh my God. Oh, I don't have words. I don't have words for that.
It's very fun.
Is it open, external, open gates?
Yeah, external gates, yep.
That's so great. That rev limiter's so rowdy.
I'm a big external gate fan.
I'm like anti-external gate.
I know. You're anti all the like rowdy fun stuff.
I know.
It's all right.
Maybe it's because I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Small cam, small turbo, internal gate.
What? No, I think it lost RPM signal again. I'm assuming that's what it's been doing, but
it's such a smooth buildup of power.
Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like,
it probably helps the car like squat between gears and everything.
Yep.
It's just like
that. It gets traction really good, and it doesn't feel sketchy at all. For me as a driver, it's hard to tell which one's faster, because obviously when you're a passenger, it feels fast. Like your car feels
I have no
really
idea.
fast.
I can't tell either.
Yeah.
Because from here, this thing feels ridiculous. Like when I drove my car just now, I was like, dang, like I guess it's hot out. Like
that's what I'm feeling too right now.
It doesn't feel fast.
That is so funny. You don't feel the speed as much when you're driving because you're in control and you're like kind of expecting everything to happen.
And being used to your own car also.
That too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just a Volvo full of GoPros. I have no idea what's going on. My excuse is gonna be it's just a Miata. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah. My horn. I told him, I don't think you're gonna hear my horn. He's like, I should be able to. Oh, that was awesome. Let's go! Reeling in the boat, rowing the boat, rowing the boat. I think I got him. I think I got him. Let's go. My car is not liking the temperature, but a win is a win, brother. Let's go. Good job, Volvo.
For all that stuff I said like 5 minutes ago about not needing a bigger turbo.
Might need a bigger turbo.
I don't know.
It was really close though.
Huh?
I said it was really close.
Huh?
Does your ears hurt that bad?
Dude, my skull hurts.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's because the dump and the wastegates are right there.
On my side. Oh my god, I can't believe how loud it was. I was getting like, I've been to like mid, top of fourth. I'm like, this is the part where I start pulling. What is going on?
Yeah, this thing, Third and fourth gear feels so crazy in this. I hit fourth going up the hill the first time, but not the other way.
Well, at least we got some good pulls.
Yeah, that was good. It was close. I kind of want some famous San Diegan Hispanic food.
I got an entire potential itinerary planned out for this, okay?
Let's go. He's not only a science fanatic when it comes to cars, but travel.
Spicy tunes, spicy food.
So after that, Greg took us on an incredible tour of San Diego. I'm talking spicy tacos, boba, awesome spots to take videos of our cars. Plus, we got to see the ocean. And so thank you so much, Greg. Thank you for giving me a ride in your car. Thank you for getting chopped by my car. And thank you for taking the time to actually plan an itinerary for us and show us around. Not only that, but thank you for all the content you've given the internet over the last years. My Miata would 100% not be where it is without Greg. And so huge shout out to him. You know, we've been acquaintances over the internet for a long time. Getting to spend a day hanging out, doing car stuff together was awesome. I feel like I recognize this place. So there it is. Guys, the Volvo, we won our second race. I chopped a Miata. You know, it kind of hurt me a little bit on the inside. It's like I always want Miatas to win. But
oh yeah, it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is, right? But thank you very much for doing the races. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for the ride along. Thank you for the tour of San Diego.
We had a good time, had some good food.
Tacos, the boba. Yet again, if you guys want to watch some awesome Miata content or just very intriguing car science-y installs, testing, check out Greg's channel. This man is the legend, OG since day one. It's so awesome to finally be here. I mean, this collab was, you know, brewing for a long time.
Like, a long time coming is like definitely an understatement.
Yeah.
Like 7 years, pretty long time. We've always had like quite a bit of distance between us, but yeah.
And we met last year at SEMA.
At SEMA, yep.
And then finally, it just took one of us to drive across the country. It's your turn next. Once you, once the 1.6 is ready.
Okay, so once Molly is like freaking all hyped up, and pushing some serious numbers, I need to bring the red car across over into Gingium territory.
This is officially, it's officially maybe gonna happen someday.
In 7 years, possibly.
Yeah, another 7 years. Well, thank you again. Check them out again. Thank you guys for watching. Back to LA. But wait. For you bike enthusiasts, here is some bonus content. Miata Dad, fun fact, before he was Miata Dad, he was a bike mechanic. And we showed up with our mountain bikes, because we want to go mountain biking. Okay, I think this was from Walmart, by the way. How do you feel about that?
You know, it's kind
of decent, right?
It's a decent bike, yeah.
Yeah, it's a decent Walmart bike. Okay, yeah. I'll take that. Just from moving it from the Volvo to inside the VVT studio, he realized something was messed up. So that's hilarious. And now he's fixing it for us. So the more you know.
Keep in mind, this is the bike I was riding, not the bike Caleb was riding.
And one of us got injured, let's just put it that way.
Yeah, come on.
So just all you did is tighten the top?
So,
or no?
First you have to loosen the pinch bolts. Then you can grab your front brake, grab it by the seat, and that's the way you'll feel the play the most. You just have to go tight enough on the top until the play is gone.
I see.
If you over tighten it, it'll be hard to steer.
Right, so it's kind of like a wheel bearing in the fact that you don't want to tighten it. So did you like your life being a bike mechanic or no?
Yeah.
It's fun?
I liked it. It taught me a lot about like using tools.
Yeah.
Like using hand tools well, and like not stripping things and.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because bikes are probably more fragile than cars.
Yeah. You think this is your house?
This is a stray cat.
Alright, so that's better. The rest of the play is right here in the fork.
What, you don't think
if you stick your finger in there, you can feel how much play it has.
I almost like feel like I'm about to squish my finger. That's crazy.
Yeah, so definitely not
that's just a low quality fork.
Yeah, it's not like a Senderoony type bike.
Well, that's good because I'm the one riding it. So
yeah, that's true.
Not
He's not a Senderoony. Not a purposeful Senderoony.
Yeah, not on purpose. I might send it over the back of a curve, but
let's check out your shifting.
Yeah, it just the big gear doesn't shift right. Well, okay, here's the thing. The problem I was having is that the chain would always pop off, like going over jumps and stuff, like really shaking it around. Is there like a way to increase the tension of a chain?
So the derailleur itself does have a tensioning screw right here.
Oh, okay.
So you can get a little bit more tension out of it that way.
Yeah.
And if you're doing like a downhill or you're in like a jumping section, if it's something where you're not pedaling, there's definitely like better gears you can be in that puts more tension on the chain.
Oh, interesting.
It doesn't let it fly.
I didn't know that.
The smallest sprocket in the front would actually be the worst because the chain has the least amount of tension.
Sure, that makes sense.
But then like choosing the right gear could factor, like if you're going downhill and like you need the right gear, like you got to be in the right gear.
Yeah.
But if you're going like small gear here
Big gear.
and small gear in the back, then you're kind of in the wrong gear. Yeah.
Okay.
Just go up in the front and the back, and you'll get like a pretty equivalent gear ratio.
Right. Yep. Okay.
And the chain will be tighter.
Cool. Yeah. I didn't know that. The more you know.
Gingium after dark.
Dude, your rear hub is freaking. This is gonna fall apart, dude. pick up the seat so I can pedal it.
Wait, are you saying bikes aren't supposed to have a bunch of play in them? I thought that was normal.
You're gonna hurt yourself on this, Caleb.
I mean, I'm kind of putting myself definitely outside of my comfort zone too, so maybe that's a bad recipe.
No, yeah, you're like sending it over stuff too. It's kind of scary.
So there's only one way you can get better.
Yeah.
I can operate this.
Not if the bike breaks. You know that video we watched, was it yesterday? When the guy's bike just breaks in half? It's gonna be you,
that
bro.
was wild. It was like a guy sends it off a jump on a carbon bike, and it just shatters when he lands.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well,
And he seems like he landed it pretty good.
pretty smooth. Yeah, well,
like
apparently in the comments people were saying that he had that bike had been wrecked like several times. It was like an old bike.
I'm about to drop that.
Number one, it won't drop into the small chain ring at all. So.
Wait, are you saying I was in the second chain ring this entire time?
I mean, it's possible it could shake down to that lower one. Or if you drop it really quick, it might drop into it sometimes, but I just tried to do it right now and it wouldn't drop into it.
Okay.
Alright, Timothy, I got a job to do, bro. Come on now.
It's funny. I feel like I'm seeing a different side of Miata Dad. The bike passion channel. So this is all just kind of second nature to you. You seem like you really know what you're doing. He's reading the bike. Does it have something to do with, like, look at all the slack in there?
We'll get to that.
Okay. That was the thing. I kind of tried to adjust a derailleur, but there's kind of a specific order of operations where if you adjust one thing, then that kind of adjusts another thing. So you have to do the first thing first, do it in out of order, then it messes up the thing. Kind of like doing alignment. Ooh!
All right. You can drop it.
So this stuff kind of just gets loose from where you're riding.
Yeah. I mean, the cables stretch. Yeah. Like, everything in the whole system can just get like a little bit of wear over time.
Yeah.
The teeth on the chain rings can wear to where they're not even grabbing the chain right when you try to shift.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get really bad, you'll be like pedaling uphill and they'll just be like skipping.
Yeah.
It's like clutch slip, basically. Yeah.
So the other bike we have does that.
At the point that happens, like specifically if it's a mountain bike, typically what you have to do is replace, usually not the upper ring, because number one, you're not there very often, and you have the least amount of torque on this ring.
Sure.
But usually the bottom two chain rings, the chain and the cassette, you all want to replace together because they wear together.
Sure.
The chain stretches, the rings all wear, Drop this bad boy into third, drop a gear and disappear, baby, let's go.
So do you always do the front sprocket first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, especially if it's problematic.
Yeah. I think the next thing I want to get for this is a dropper. Actually,
that was like one of the first things I noticed, like, because like so many people have them now.
Yeah. Like, I don't remember. I don't have a mark where I like my seats. Sometimes I get it a little bit too low or a little bit too high. And I'm like, I gotta stop.
I have, I can't remember the brand, but it's just the one with the lever in the front of the seat.
That's cool.
I don't have anything on the bars because I hate like extra cables and external wastegates and everything else. It's overly complicated.
Freaking hater, man. He hates fun. I was kidding. He wouldn't have a 500 horsepower. Help me out if he had fun.
We used to have a tool at the bike shop that you could put on the chain and it would measure how much it had stretched.
Oh,
it's a pretty sick tool.
It's funny, like, to me, adjusting this mountain bike is more complicated than building the Volvo. I don't know anything,
Dude, it's a like, there's so many little nuance things to it.
Yeah.
To like just a basic tune-up.
Yeah, like when I first got this thing, I was like, I'm not gonna ever take this thing to a bike shop. Like, I'm just doing it myself. I built the sleeper Volvo.
Yeah, I dealt with customers like you before.
Well, as soon as I tried to adjust the derailleur, I was like, I'm either gonna have to actually really try to learn this stuff or accept my fate. How much is like? Oh, good. How much is like a tune-up cost usually?
Well, when I worked at the bike shop, they were like 65 to 75 bucks.
Oh, that's nothing.
That's for like front and rear brakes, the hubs, the derailleurs, like everything that can be adjusted is adjusted. Yeah. People would bring in their $39, $49 Walmart bikes and not want to pay for a tune-up because they're like, well, that's more than the bike.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 27.5 too.
Yeah. What do you think it was?
This is like 27.5 is like the standard now.
Yeah, it is.
You youngins might not really realize it. Before 27.5, we had 26s.
Yeah, 26 sounds tiny. I have a 29 too. That's like it feels like driving a NC Miata.
Yeah.
Got him.
Oh,
BMX bike is like an NA. Oh, the phone. Oh, the phone. What did you bring me, dude?
Oh yeah, I was pretty upset. I was gonna hit all these awesome parks in like Colorado and stuff. Little did I know, they all closed October 1st.
For snow?
Well,
just as for the season. Like it was just kind of a default. Yeah, it's alright. I'll just have to come out again. It doesn't matter. And the one in LA closes on Sunday, so I just barely got that one.
You know, I bought the NB from someone's grandma. She said it was. They told me it was their grandma's car, and grandma passed away, and they don't need the car anymore. I got into that thing and I saw some pretty squirrely mods for grandma. Like, I don't know if this was grandma's car. I think we might have a similar case here.
But she also might have bought it. No, she said she like got it all decked out for herself. Oh, she also claimed it was a $1,600 bike.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, really?
That's probably correct.
Oh.
No, it's most likely just. I mean, stuff just wears out, and people just keep riding their bikes until they literally fall apart. So.
That wasn't gonna be me. What are you talking about?
There's a bolt right here between this little idler and another bolt between this one.
Yeah.
This one was like completely loose. The idler was just like
wonky,
so it wasn't like pulling the chain over.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. It was just kind of flexing the idler.
We're back to square one now.
Okay. Well, hey, you figured out the issue. I would never have figured that out.
So lift it up real quick.
Yep.
This is what I was talking about with the gear selection. So if you're in small and small, yeah, it's okay that it rubs there because you're not supposed to be there anyways.
Really? You're never supposed to be a small?
Not really. You can, but
learning a lot of new things.
You put it in the easiest gear in the front and then the hardest gear in the back.
Okay, so
they're opposites.
You're just not separating the load very well.
Like what do you need? If you need to go like up a hill, like a steep hill, you want easier gear. You want easier gearing. So because it's kind of hard to explain, but. This ratio is the same as if you go like middle ring in the front and middle ring in the back. Yeah. Except you have more tension on the chain. Okay. During that.
So I should probably just leave it in middle in the front most cases.
If you rode this right now and you're like, yeah, that's the ratio I want. But you're in small, just go up to the middle in the front and then click up a few in the back until you find that right ratio that you want. Yeah. Same with big. You don't want to go like, you don't want to put it in the hardest gear in the front and the easiest gear in the back. You don't want to do opposites like that. Okay. Yeah. Let me take this in for a spin real quick.
Sure. Yeah. So what was the thing with the rear hub? I have to fix something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
That with the rear hub? Yeah, let me just see real quick. Let me flip this thing.
Greg, I got something to tell you.
Okay.
So,
what?
I popped this inner tube.
Okay.
Didn't have a replacement inner tube.
Okay.
But I wanted to ride. So, I used duct tape and shoe glue to seal the inner tube.
I mean, it looks like it's holding air.
It's held air for months. Okay. Are you amazed by that?
It's golden.
But anyway, I've taken it on and off a couple times, so that's probably possibly mine.
You should be able to do this by hand, BT dubs. I guess it's
you can do it by hand.
No, everything.
So those are the. So you think? Oh wow, that is completely loose. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm glad we made a stop here, bro.
Seriously, you might have just saved our life.
Well, your life.
Yeah.
I'd have just been on the easy trail. I'd have been like, dang, Kayla's been on that hard trail for quite some time.
So you've been to Snow Summit a couple times, or like?
Yes, but snowboarding.
Not
on bikes.
Never mind.
But this should be good enough. It's the last thing I thought I'd be working on today, to be honest.
It's honestly, it's good. It means that neither of the cars broke.
Yeah.
And we succeeded, and now we get to do extracurriculars.
Nah, I'm gonna take this thing for a spin.
Okay, here you go.
Certainly good enough.
Yeah.
To wear.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, sir.
No problem.